Alright, hi, my name is Cedar, and I'm going to be giving a presentation on why the American soccer team should be using a promotional system. So this is a picture of Trinidad and Tobago after they scored their second goal against America in the World Cup qualifying match. America had to win in order to move on to the World Cup group stage and participate in the World Cup. Tobago and Trinidad went up early 2-0, and then America scored in the 47th minute to make it 2-1, but they never made it. So why did they not make it? Is because of lack of competition in their regular league and because they lack skill. So they have to wait another 4 years before they make another tournament. So we have to make changes to U.S. soccer, and that involves making the players better and getting them better training and making them have more playing time. So American soccer and MLS need to start implementing a new promotional system for their league so that teams can move up and down in different leagues, and they also need to start implementing youth academies. So, according to the Elias Sports Bureau, these are minutes played by U.S.-born players and eligible players. So, the percentage of minutes from U.S.-born players has fallen from 52.7% in 2013 to 42.2% in this last season. And then for only players eligible for the U.S., the number shrinks from around 52% in 2012 to 37.7% today. This means that any U.S. players are barely getting any playing time until they start playing in big tournaments like the World Cup and the CONCACAF tournament. So we can fix this low number of playing times by experiencing a new promotional system in the league and implementing youth academies. So let's look at the MLS current system. This is their current system. There's 23 teams. There's 11 people in one conference and 12 in the other, and then pretty much just the top 6 in any conference move on to the playoffs, and the bottom teams have no effects for getting last, except for getting a last round draft or first round draft pick, and it's the first round. So now let's take a look at the Premier League system, which is the England Soccer League, and they're one of the best leagues in the world. There's 20 teams. The top 4 teams go on to play in the Champions Cup, which is one of the best tournaments in the world. The fifth place person plays in the Euro League, which is another good tournament for Europe. But the bottom 3, they have a punishment for not being so good. They get relegated down to another league that they must play in order to make themselves better. That way they can work their way back up into the Premier League, which is the best league in England. So the benefits to having this kind of promotional system is it increases competition, and it punishes teams for either tanking or for not doing well, and it forces them to constantly get better so that then they don't just get first round draft picks all the time. So also along with this, there's an economic side, and this economic side is that attendance will increase. So according to a study done by Stanford University, in the English Premier League, when teams got promoted, they ended up seeing a 20% attendance increase, and in the Bundesliga, which is the German league, which is also very good, they had a 25% increase in attendance. And then also, competition is what drives fans and other people to watch soccer in America. So in order to implement the promotion system, Stanford also did a The Little Report was also done on a survey of 1,058 U.S. soccer fans. 88% of fans said adopting promotion and relegation would benefit club soccer in the U.S. So why not just give what the fans want and do a promotion and relegation system? While promotion and relegation system is important to the betterment of soccer in the U.S., we must also implement a youth program. Currently, there is no youth program in the U.S. besides just soccer for high school, college, and club and recreational teams. And if we could implement youth academies for players to get better while they're younger in the MLS and then the national level, then we can create such a better soccer team for America to not lose out on a World Cup appearance again. So, since 2006, participation in soccer has gone up 25% in the high school area, and then also 20% in the collegiate area in NCAA. It started around 2006, around 38,000. Now it's around 55,000. So there's obvious growth in the past 12 years, and of kids wanting to play soccer. So we should just get academies and get the kids in early so they can be better and help the future of American soccer. The Olympics does this as well with their teams. They have youth for their events and their sports, so we should also just do what the Olympics do. If they're going to do it, let's implement it in soccer for America. having academies around the young become better, help them become better, but also we can help the national team in soccer become better and perform at higher levels by implementing academies and promotional system, and eventually end up winning the best trophy in the world, which is the World Cup trophy. So a promotion system in the MLS and youth academies is great, but there's also other things that we can do, just as if you're a parent or anything else, or a brother or sister, you can encourage other young kids to start getting into soccer early and getting them to go outside and practice and just play around and have fun. Since, like I mentioned earlier, it has grown the past 12 years, and according to the U.S. youth soccer statistics, there's more than 3 million youth players in U.S., 6,000 youth participating clubs, and up to 1.5 tournaments, 1,500 tournaments every year for youth soccer. So with all those opportunities for youth soccer, you should get your kids into it while you can, because you guys can be the difference change. And along with this, if you can get your youth started early, we could possibly win the next World Cup, which is in Qatar, be the future. And then you could also have one of your kids become one of the world stars right now for America, Christian Pulisic, who's 19, but he started practicing when he was 6, went to a bunch of youth academies in other countries and became a great player. So to overlook everything, like the best thing we could do to make American soccer and U.S. national more successful is implementing a promotion which will increase competitiveness and skills inside the U.S. soccer players, implementing youth academies which will help grow the future of soccer, and also just having you guys help get your kids involved and doing all this stuff, getting them to go outside, play, getting in sports clubs and tournaments, and that's pretty much it. Change doesn't happen without you. You guys are the change, and you guys can make the U.S. soccer team and national team feel better. Yeah. So do you guys have any questions or answers?
I actually have a question about, you said something about them having a youth system for the national team, right?
Yeah.
So isn't that ODP, Olympic Developmental Program, and they have those in every state, so wouldn't that be sort of kind of like that?
Yeah, it'd be like that, except for you'd have like the national coaches and all those extra.
But don't we already have a system in place? Doesn't it just need to get better?
No, we don't have any system for them.
The Olympic Developmental Program isn't the system.
It's for the Olympics only.
No, but that's for our national team. They pick right out of there too.
They do?
They do.
Yeah. Alright, I didn't know that. But go ahead. Does anyone else have any questions?
Yeah. Do you think that if America made this change, that it could help soccer to catch on?
Yeah, it definitely would, especially with the increase in attendance for sports. If you added more spectacular younger players and the promotion, that helps a lot. Like as mentioned in statistics earlier, and even in like an English Premier League, the small clubs, once they get up there in the big clubs, everyone starts to want to watching because they're really good players and it's a better game.
Would you agree that if we were to become a more soccer-driven nation, our relations with the EU at a political level would be increased?
Possibly, yeah. Most definitely, because we'd be doing a lot more appearances in Europe and in the World Cup, and other players would want to get with American players if they were better and actually help them, and we'd help each other, and there'd be better. It's one of the best sports in the world, like most popular, but just not in America. It's not our sport, so for sure.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, these are all my people.
Hey.